Hi, my name is Bob, and this is my hope story. I was born kind of into a loosely Baptist family. We went to church fairly regularly when I was younger. It was an older kind of church. There wasn't a lot of young people. Everybody young kind of ran off here and there. There wasn't anyone for me to relate to, and I'd also reached that age where I could decide I didn't want to go anymore. So of course I quit going to church. I'd rather sleep in. I think I was like 12. And from that, my life just kind of progressively went farther and farther away, from Jesus. I became an atheist, to the point where I would have argued with you about my beliefs versus yours, and that yours were wrong and I was right. It didn't matter what they were, mine were right. Luck had it, at the time I didn't think so, but the girl I was with told me she was pregnant. I made the decision that I didn't want my daughter to ever see me the way that I saw myself. So I gave up all the drinking. I didn't give up the friends. I didn't give up some of the activities, but I tried to be in that right step. The day she was born, and I'll never forget it. It was one of those moments in your life that shifts and changes everything. I reached down and she held my finger, and I felt something in my body, an emptiness that was, I guess, didn't know I even had, was all of a sudden filled, and I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that there was something bigger than me. After my divorce, my friends kind of rallied around me, didn't want me to be by myself, that kind of stuff. And they took me to a birthday party of a friend of my buddy's wife's friend, and to meet some people, just to get out of the house so I wasn't sitting alone. And I met Erin, the girl is now my wife. A couple weeks later, she told me, hey, my nephew's getting dedicated at church and I'd like you to go. And of course I didn't want to come. And I was like, I don't do church. It's not for me. I'm agnostic, whatever. I don't want to do that. And so I came to church and we sat, and I'll never forget the sermon. It was not a relationship one, but everything Jason said was about relationships and letting bad ones go and starting new ones. That same feeling I had when my daughter was born and when I met Erin, I had it again. The emptiness in my body was gone. It was filled, and I didn't feel alone. I felt like I was in the right spot. After being here the first time and feeling what I felt, unlike some earlier instances, that feeling didn't go away. So the next week, Erin was actually out of town. It was Sunday. I came back by myself, and I sat, of course, to the front on the side, not talking to anybody, just kind of watching. And listened to the whole thing, and the feeling didn't change. It was there. So when Jason said, "Does anyone want to give their life to Christ?" I was compelled to raise my hand. It went up before really I fully even finished thinking it over. I just knew that's what I was supposed to do. Living most of my teen and early adult years without Jesus, like I said, you don't even know that you feel this sense of emptiness. Things don't work out, or you're trying this, and this doesn't happen, and this doesn't work out, and you're trying everything in your power to fix it. And when you reach a certain level, it's beyond your power to fix. Coming from pretty much my entire formative years of not having that in my life, and the struggles, and just being empty and alone, to the last year where I've had Jesus in my life, doesn't mean that you aren't going to struggle. It doesn't mean that life won't be hard. But now I don't feel empty at the end of the day. When I go through something that it's bigger than me, I know I'm not alone. I'm not in the dark, looking for the light. The light's always there. I've never felt so fulfilled in my life. I always thought I was the person that was too smart for church, or I was too smart to believe that, and if you believe that, you're stupid. And it's reaching a point in your adulthood, and having children and all this, and realizing that you spent your whole life just being wrong. It's so much better, and I was wrong, and I'm happy that I can look back and say that.